Okay, Riffs, Rants, and Ramblings, episode 6. It's another bonus episode. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting here half naked. I think maybe I've lost my mind. I had a wild dream last night, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I was up super late last night editing my Celtics podcast, didn't finish, went to bed, and went straight into these crazy, wild dreams. I was writing poetry. I was in a band. I was fighting with my bandmates. But there was one part of the dream that really stuck out for me in particular was I wrote this song or this piece of poetry. And of course, in the dream, it was so deep and profound. It was incredible. And I actually had dreams within the dream where I kept waking up and trying to write down this poem or this song that I had written, desperately trying to record this because I thought it was so cool. And of course, I couldn't operate a pen. I couldn't remember the words. I couldn't write it down. As so often happens in dreams, you don't have motor skills. You're driving cars off the road. You can't run properly. You can't fight properly. And in this dream, I couldn't use a pen. I couldn't figure out how to write this onto paper. But when I finally woke up this morning, after struggling a little bit with it, I was actually able to remember the words. And to my surprise, they actually kind of make sense. Maybe it's because it's 6 o'clock in the morning and it's still there, but I wanted to share this with you. Oh, God. So just imagine a really shitty Jim Morrison singing this. There is a hole in the middle of the floor. It leads to nowhere, or maybe somewhere more. And when we go there, eventually we'll see. It leads to everywhere, and everywhere is we. So I wrote that down this morning. It came back to me from my dream last night that I was performing with my band. And yeah, it actually kind of makes sense. So there is a hole in the middle of the floor, like a drain, and it leads to nowhere. Like it's where we try to get rid of all of our stuff from our daily life, all of our stress and anxiety. We try to get rid of it. But sometimes it leads to more because sometimes we revisit these things that have bothered us that we've tried to get rid of, and we think about it, and it seems to be important even if originally we didn't think it was important, and we just overanalyze these things and sort of get stuck in this trap of anxiety. I mean, I'm analyzing my own dreams, which is very strange, but I think that's what it means to me. Makes sense because I've recently changed apartments, changed jobs, and I've been kind of suffering through some anxiety about this kind of stuff. And I vacillate between thinking it's not important, everything's fine, and that also it's super important. So I think somehow that's worked its way into the dream. But it was a wild dream. I was with my friend who's actually sort of a rock star. We were sharing this band together, and we got into a huge fight. It was basically like the Oasis documentary. We were going at it, and he almost took a swing at me. He's like, "Do you want to fight?" And I had this moment of lucidity where I was like, no, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to be here. Why am I in a band? What am I doing in a band? I have no musical talent. What I want to do is go home. I want to go home and read and not be in this band anymore. And my bandmate was like, "Oh, great. That's amazing. We're going to go out. We're going to do this show. It's going to be incredible. You're going to say goodbye. You're going to leave a legend. You're never coming back." And I was like, perfect. So we went out and we did this show, and I killed it. I was singing, I was rapping, and I was being too honest, brutally honest, telling all the fans way too much stuff about me, as I tend to do, as I'm doing now. And then at the end, I just signed off. I was like, this is it. I'm leaving. You're never going to see me again. And I walked away, and it was great. So that's my dream from last night. Just woke up. It was really stuck in my head. Probably the most powerful dream I've had in about 6 months, maybe a year. About 6 months ago, I had this crazy dream as well with just a random person I was working with who was showing me this new Christmas gift that she had gotten. It was a little machine she called Beats by Apple. It looked like a miniature transformer, and it was like a stereo / alarm clock / PDA machine / tablet PC, and it also cleaned itself. But the thing that really stuck with me, and it's still stuck with me, is that it had its own theme music, and she was singing it in my dream, and I can still hear it to this day, 6 months later. I can still hear the theme song of this fake machine that doesn't exist. Yeah, crazy dreams. As I said, I've been having crazy dreams since I was a kid. I used to have horrible, vivid, vicious nightmares pretty much every night. I even remember one where it was just blackness and a voice came into the dream and it was the devil. The devil was introducing himself to me. and he basically said, I'm gonna rip you apart. And he proceeded to just flay the skin from my body in this dream. I woke up in tears and in pain. Probably one of the craziest dreams I've ever had. And I used to also have lucid dreams where I could control the dream. I knew I was dreaming. And I think the lucid dreams came about because at that time I was having so many nightmares that I had to sort of learn how to fight back. So I got really good at having these moments in dreams where I would say to myself, am I dreaming? I think this is a dream. If I had the premonition that it was going to be a nightmare, I would do one of two things. I would either find something really tall to jump off of onto my head to kill myself, knowing that that would wake me up, or I would just try to blink my eyes really, really hard over and over and over again, and that would also wake me up. So I developed these strategies basically to fight back against these nightmares. And eventually it led to a lot of lucid dreaming when I was young, where I would have these incredible dreams where I knew I was dreaming and I would take control of them. And let's just say that when I knew I was dreaming and I had control, I wasn't exactly saving the world or donating to charitable causes. Okay, internet peoples, that's my weird-ass dream from last night. Dream pod, yay or nay? Not sure it's going to continue. We'll see. All right, later.